Hi everyone, my name is Maddie, here presenting the research that I have gathered of poor written communication in the workplace. I decided to do a little research on this topic because I have been noticing in my workplace that recently there's been poor written communication that has led to misunderstandings, communication barriers. So I just kind of wanted to do a little research to see if this was normal in the workplace, what people are doing to fix this, how they can overcome poor written communication. The workplace can be a challenging environment, particularly when communication lies between employees, and bosses. In order for written communication to be effective, it is important that management and employees work together to form a dependable and a positive relationship in the workplace. According to Professor Steve Corman, poor written communication is the easiest way for a company to lose sight of prospective goals. Many poor communication faults in the workplace are in result of misinterpretation, bad grammar, and language barriers. Proper communication and writing skills allows you to communicate your message with clearness and ease through instructions, emails, or memos. Being able to communicate effectively through proper grammar is crucial to time management skills that will allow you and your organization to have better comprehensive on ensuring that messages are received and delivered effectively. The content of messages should be clear and presented in a professional and accurate manner. In our day, many young adults use abbreviations such as TTYL, THX, also known as thanks, to compensate spelling for a word. Many employers say that it is essential for young graduates to be able to clearly and write professionally. According to the American Association of Colleges and Universities, 27 say that recent graduates have the grammar skills needed to succeed in the workplace, and others don't. Improper grammar, spelling, and language terminology can leave a very bad impression on fellow employees, management and organization. Before sending your messages to others, proofread, identify, and change mistakes in your delivery message. If grammar methods do not improve, consider finding a tutor or a website to help with any barriers that you may have when understanding specific grammar techniques. Using bad grammar in the workplace may lead to misunderstanding. According to Dwayne Willey, 14% of all emails sent in the workplace are misjudged or misinterpreted by the receiver. Misinterpretation may result in lack of understanding of the specific goals or duties written by the employer. If an employee does not understand instructions, it is most likely that the employee will perform their task incorrectly. Instructions must always be clear, concise, and logical. To improve misinterpretations, avoid numerous topics per email or conversation. Writing less in emails will prevent the amount of confusion, unnecessary steps, and unanswered questions. Another form of misinterpretation in a workplace is caused by the absence of tone felt by the receiver. Research states that both sender and receiver tend to automatically compensate for tone lost during email conversation. Tara Dixon, a project manager at the University of Ulster, states that in terms of a person doing the interpreting, we all have underlying beliefs and understanding of the word, which influences the ways in which we tend to understand and describe meanings to incoming data. To prevent misinterpretation by wrongful tones, it is necessary to develop effective listening skills such as nonverbal and verbal languages. Paraphrasing and providing appropriate feedback, such as questions and comments, may help to identify problems, interpretations of the message. or messages. When working with multicultural languages, it is helpful to ask questions to avoid misunderstanding at all costs. As an increasing number of professionals find themselves working outside familiar cultural backgrounds, many language barriers are formed and result to poor written communication. In order to overcome language barriers in a workplace, it is crucial to ask for clarifications and don't use assumptions. Before jumping to conclusions, make sure the information provided is accurate and clarified. When working close with other cultures, get to know their style of communication. There are many different cultures that have different interpretations of what is meant by something being urgent and what level of work is being considered stressful. Communications with other languages is not the only barrier that occurs in the workplace, but also communicating with other employees from different regions in the country. There are many different styles of communicating that use different words with the same meaning that could hinder written communication in the workplace. When communicating with other cultures and other time zones, you should clearly state your definitions, such as afternoon, and you should make sure that the date you require the task to be completed is accurate for the time zone. The workplace can be a challenging environment, particularly when communication lines between employees and bosses are not running smoothly. In order for written communication to be effective, it is important that management and employees work together to form a dependable and positive relationship in the workplace. Many poor written communication faults in the workplace are result in misinterpretation, bad grammar, and language barriers. To prevent misinterpretation in written communication, it is important to develop listening skills such as nonverbal and verbal languages, paraphrasing, and provide appropriate feedback. Secondly, grammar errors can be overcome by proofreading, identifying, and changing any mistakes when made conversing in written communication. It is important to overcome language barriers presented in the workplace by asking for a clarification and not using assumptions. And lastly, adapting and learning to cultural communication styles is a way poor written communication can be overcome in the workplace. So after doing some research, I have learned a lot about what my workplace how my workplace can overcome these written communication barriers. If you have any questions for me about the issues I have in my workplace and how I overcame those, please feel free to reach out to me, and I would be happy to answer any of the questions that you may have about poor written communication in the workplace. Thanks, everyone.